And we've had a great show tonight, Ian, and I'm really excited about it. We're having a great year with AEW and ROH. We spend so much time talking about AEW because it's a fantastic company. We're having one of the best years in the history of AEW. I got another cup of coffee, which is a good sign, so I can answer some questions. We're on a great run. We're back from London, where we just had a great Forbidden Door. Yeah. Now we're here in Philadelphia. It's a short drive for you. How long a drive was it here?
About an hour up down from Allentown.
Great. So, yeah. So nice. Is it easy drive? You get to sleep in your own bed, I'd imagine, tonight. That's good. That's always good. On the World of Pro Wrestling, the year-long, year-round tour that is pro wrestling, the never-ending tour that is our sport. And with that, we can answer some questions. But what a great night and great event. I really appreciate you all being here, and I'll stay and answer questions because I really appreciate all of you coming and doing this. So with that,
start on this side and then we'll get over
there. This question is for Tony. Robert Spinelli with All Elitist Podcast. So congratulations with all the success on HBO Max with AEW. Can we potentially see Ring of Honor, AEW Dark, and Elevation possibly make the move to Max?
That's a great question. I am open to it, but right now we're integrating some great things into HBO Max. We're having a great year with AEW, and so far we've put up AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision. Every week we do 2 live shows, and we're looking forward to a lot of things. We still have plans. We announced at the beginning of this, there's still a plan to launch the AEW pay-per-views live eventually on HBO Max. That's going to be really exciting. We really want to do that. We're really excited about Dynamite and Collision, but also we've built great audiences over the years on TBS and TNT. And one of the real success stories and highlights of this is we've been able to maintain and grow those audiences this year from where we ended last year, which is pretty cool because we've been able to get bigger on TBS and TNT quarter after quarter. And while we've also built this new streaming audience. So we're building and building, and I think eventually more content could be great. Those are great shows you mentioned. And Ring of Honor, we're having a great year with the service, and we've been trying to, feature more free content too. Some interesting things have happened along the way. Now, first of all, intentionally, I've been putting more ROH along the way, free shows. I really liked the episode we put up a couple weeks ago that did great viewership. Yeah. That was a nice episode. It reminded some people of almost like a hybrid of the best of what the ROH TV can be, but also having free wrestling like with the Dark and Elevation shows that people really liked on YouTube. That was a great episode. There were some great matches on it. It was great seeing Sky Team versus the Varsity Athletes.
Amazing.
There was that great multi-man match with the Outrunners, AR Fox.
That's right.
There was really good stuff. I thought Lethal and Zayn had a great match on that show. There was some great action on that show. Nick Wayne defending the TV title against Willie Mack was great. Nick Wayne not here tonight due to injury. A lot of injuries impacted this card, but everybody really stepped up and delivered. So I've been trying to put more of the free shows like that one on YouTube, more content to introduce new fans into ROH. Yeah. Tonight, our streaming provider had issues with browsers, and if anybody's affected by it, I didn't want to have anybody that's not included, so I made a decision in the chair in the back while the show was happening. I put the show up free worldwide on YouTube, wow. And you may not have known that while you were in the chair. No. Yeah, you did a great job calling the show. So I made a call during the show to put the entire show up free worldwide on YouTube. Wow. And I'm going to give everybody a 1-month credit, all the current subscribers, because, if anybody, really everybody should be able to get that credit. And I heard it was only on certain browsers. At first, I think we thought it was Chrome and Firefox, but then also they said Microsoft Edge. So I said, if it's affecting those people, everybody should just be able to watch it for free on YouTube. And we'll rectify it with the streaming provider, Bright Cove, that was responsible. And I'm really proud of the way the team stepped up. And it was a great night, honestly, for the company because the show we delivered was fantastic. And then I think new fans must have seen it. It was a well-received choice. People thought it was a good thing to do. And, that's a lot of money a month of subscriptions. I'm not going to lie to you. We have thousands and thousands of subscribers. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars that I'm going to eat with a month subscription. But it's okay because we made new fans. I'll rectify it with the people responsible on the other end. And the fans got a great show tonight. And it seemed like almost unanimously positive response on social media. And it's a hard thing to do something that's unanimously well received on social media. but it seems like we're doing a lot of those kinds of things in AEW. That's the kind of year we're having. We've had so many things that have been positively received, almost 100% positive feedback on shows like Forbidden Door and AEW All In, one of the greatest things we've ever done, but also these events. Tonight, loved the show tonight. I think really fans were really just so impressed, probably made some new fans along the way unintentionally with not originally planning to put the show up for free, but I think some new people definitely saw it. I heard a lot of people saying that, and they got a great show. And we've been really anticipating this show. We had some very exciting events. Like I mentioned, injuries along the way to champions. We have multiple champions out injured that affected the card. The TV champions, Red Velvet and Nick Wayne, both out injured. Of course, Dustin Rhodes holding 2 championships, and Dustin took on so much to become the TNT champion. And then when Kyle Fletcher put him down in that incredible match in Chicago, it was, of course, the end of Dustin Rhodes' run as TNT champion, but it also meant he would have to step down as a tag team champion and a 6-man champion. And we saw some pretty incredible results with new champions crowned tonight. But what a way to end the night with a great pair of world championship matches. Great champions, great challengers. We've been looking forward to weeks. We've been looking forward to Bandito versus Hechicero. That vignette ended that free episode on YouTube, and people loved it. So we've shown it a few times, including right before the match started, Bandito and Hechicero with the showdown, and Athena versus Mina Shirakawa. Really a personal rivalry that these two have built on TV. Very heated. And Mina, her first match back after Athena put her out of action in the huge Casino Gauntlet match at AEW All in Texas. And then with Mina getting involved in London last week and Athena's AEW World title shot. And with Mina, the interim Ring of Honor World TV champion, having a chance to make history herself, being the one to end this reign. You couldn't have asked for a better main event to end the night. It's a great show.
It was amazing.
You did a great job.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, Tony. Adam Bernard from The Sportster. Nice to see you again, sir.
Hey, nice to see you.
We spoke earlier this year about ECW and your love for the business. Now, you obviously got to give Taz some amazing news on Wednesday night, and obviously the Blue Meanie was here tonight. What's it like for you to run so many shows here in this historic arena, and what does it mean for you as an ECW fan to leave your legacy on this spot?
Yes, thank you for bringing it up because I was going to address this. So we surprised Taz here. So one thing I was going to cover in the scrum, and I really appreciate you teeing up the golf ball, so to speak, for me here. First of all, we're so honored to have Taz and his family here with us in AEW. It was great to see Hook tonight, the cold-hearted, handsome devil, and it was really an honor to pay tribute to Taz, somebody who's a legend of wrestling who everybody here, including me, has really followed for years and has so much respect for. He's a great commentator and ambassador in AEW. He's a top expert on pro wrestling, from Technique by Taz to the color commentary he provides every week on Wednesday Night Dynamite. He's an indispensable part of AEW and our team. And in this building, for the first time we ever had AEW, it was great to be able to surprise Taz with his family coming out and all the wrestlers coming out to support Taz. Now, because it was a surprise and he asked for some more time to get his family and everybody lined up, Taz did ask if I could please postpone the surprise induction for tomorrow until Wednesday, and I have granted that stay for him. So Taz did ask me. Tomorrow we were planning to raise Taz up into the rafters, but also it was a surprise, to be fair. And he tried to get his family and everyone lined up. He said, "Can you wait till Wednesday, please?" So we're going to wait till Wednesday. It's for him. I think it's the least we can do for Taz is wait till Wednesday by his request. But so it's a real honor to be able to do that for him here in this building. Taz is an indispensable part of the team. Like I said, we love working with him. You guys have really everybody in that announcer's room, I think, could speak to the fact that Taz is a great locker room leader.
He is, absolutely.
Yep.
He's the best.
He's a brilliant wrestling mind, and we're all really blessed to work with him, and we all have so much respect for what he accomplished in the ring in this very arena and throughout his career. And he's also raised a great son that we're really proud to work with Hook. Thanks for asking about him.
Hi, Tony. Ab from WIP Wrestling. I know we're not done the week yet. It might be a little too early to ask, but given how the last two events went, what would you say about coming back to the 2300 Arena and doing events like this more often?
Oh, it's going to be great. I think we're going to be here 5 more shows. So based on, well, I got to say, we're 2 out of 7 were 2 for 2. And the way we're going, I'd say we can do more shows here. I absolutely love it. We've had great shows here. The fans have been excellent. The quality of the wrestling has been excellent. The environment's awesome. The city is great. We love being here. It's safe to say I want to do more shows in the 2300 arena. And I always love coming to Philadelphia. From the different venues we've run, we've always had great shows here, whether we brought Dynamite, Collision, pay-per-view with Dynasty, or Ring of Honor. Tonight, it was great having Death Before Dishonor here in the 2300 arena tonight. Again, Ian, you did a great job. You and Caprice, fantastic on the call. The fans were great. The environment is world-class. And yes, we would love to come back here. Thank you.
It's hard not to when the crowd is so engaged. I'll just say that, when everybody's so alive.
Dave Melanger, Sports Star in Philadelphia. So, questions for Tony. So, 2 shows in, how do you feel like the overall atmosphere has been like being in this arena? And back at AEW Dynasty, you mentioned about doing more pay-per-views in Philadelphia. When do we think we could see that come in? Could Citizens Bank Park be an option?
That's a great question. It's absolutely something that I want to do, is more pay-per-views around Philadelphia. The fans have been so great. And certainly here we've brought some of the very best wrestling with Ring of Honor. We had a great Dynasty pay-per-view. The support for that was tremendous. It was a great AEW pay-per-view debut here. Ring of Honor, no strangers to Philadelphia and no strangers to this building.
Yep.
So absolutely we want to do more great shows here. That's a great thought too, something to consider, but definitely the support around Philadelphia is phenomenal. And whether it's ROH or AEW, we're going to keep bringing shows here. And again, we've got 5 more to go in the next few weeks. We're going to have these great sellout crowds. It's a very intimate environment. There's a lot of history. And based on how it's gone, I feel safe to say we're definitely going to want to come back here. The environment's incredible. Again, for anyone who doesn't know, until this week, I had not been in this building since I was 13 years old. It's been over 29 years until this week before I set foot in this building. Wednesday marked the first AEW event here, and also my first time coming here since I came as a kid to see ECW, and then to be here promoting AEW and now promoting ROH and having these incredible matches. Both Wednesday Night Dynamite and now this pay-per-view just delivered. I mean, I really thought it was one of the best Wednesday Night Dynamite shows. A lot of people who've seen every episode told me they thought it was one of the all-time best episodes. It's been incredibly well received. And after 308 episodes of Wednesday Night Dynamite, and having been in the chair for all of them, I can tell you it was one of my favorite ones we've ever done. I can't wait to do our first ever Collision here hours from now. The doctors are checking out the competitors. We announced after weeks of rivalry and tension between Juice Robinson of the Bang Bang Gang and Big Bill, they're going to go one-on-one here tomorrow. The crowd's going to go nuts for that great match. And they're checking out the competitors in the back as the doctors give me the clearance. I'll find out who's going to be cleared. A lot of the top competitors in the world, including top competitors here in ROH, but also a lot of the people who are big names in AEW were on this show tonight. So I need to find out who's cleared, and I'm going to go work on that and make some announcements about tomorrow. It's live coast to coast here. First ever Collision in this building. It'll be live. We got big football games, so we're on 8 p.m. Eastern, but also on the West Coast. We're going to be live tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, and should have a great audience, and it's going to be great being a part of that with College Football Saturdays now too on TNT. It's great.
Oh, it's exciting. It's a great relationship.
It's great being here. Thanks for asking that, and certainly the more we can do in Philadelphia, the better. It's great. We love being up here.
Hey, Tony. Max Turner from BioSlam.net. Obviously, before you bought Ring of Honor, it was very rare to see women main event the shows, especially consistently. But it seems since Athena's been champion, it's kind of been non-debatable how they should be main eventing the shows, pay-per-views especially. Just talk about from your perspective, has it been undeniable in your eyes, and how do you feel about that moving forward?
Well, it's been great having Athena, one of the great world champions, in these fantastic matches like tonight, taking on top challengers. And tonight was one of my favorite ones yet. Mina Shirakawa is a great star. She's the interim world TV champion. And I think no matter what happens when we do eventually go to crown an undisputed Ring of Honor Women's World TV champion, right now, Mina's the interim champion, and Red Velvet will be coming back hopefully soon to crown an undisputed champion. But I think it's safe to say Mina is one of the best wrestlers in the world. And Mina is one of our favorite signings we've made in recent AEW history, and a top star now for ROH as well. And that's the kind of top competition Athena has been taking on. In Ring of Honor in the last few years, certainly Mina would be one of the top stars that Athena's taken on, but Athena's had so many great matches, and many of them have been great main events. That some of them have been in that main event position. Others have been as part of a big double main event. I think whether it's been the final match of the night or whether it's been one of the great matches of the night, no matter where it's been, time after time, one consistent theme with Athena delivering great matches, she comes out the winner. And many of them, like you said, have been great main event matches, including tonight. The two final matches, either one of them could have easily been a great double main event, and you could say that about the last show as well. And I think Athena has delivered. Mina tonight really stepped up as a challenger, and it was just an incredible main event, and really an incredible set of matches to close a great pay-per-view, in my opinion, ending with Athena still the world champion, closing in on 1,000 days in ROH as the champion, and yet another great main event match under her belt. And again, I thought it was a very impressive win as part of a double main event in Texas when she wrestled Thunder Rosa. That was actually not the final match that night. Takeshita and Bandito went out and had the last match, but her match was impressive. Her win was impressive. But many times, as you said, it has been the final match, and it set the tone, closed the night. And tonight was one of those nights. I thought that Athena versus Mina was just a phenomenal way to close a great show. Thank you for asking.
Tony, I think we have time for two more.
At least.
Yeah.
Let's do them.
Hi, Lizzie Flanagan with PWI. Adam Priest has been turning a lot of heads with his recent appearances on Ring of Honor. What can fans expect in regards to his future with the company?
I'm a big fan of Adam Priest. I've scouted Adam Priest here. He's participated with us in ROH, AEW. I went over to Rev Pro just in Stevenage, just outside London, and went to the show. And, Serena Deeb, the professor, who will be competing in the ROH Women's Pure Championship tournament. She was competing there representing AEW. I was scouting out wrestlers. Adam Priest, very impressive in the British Junior Cup, the British J Cup. I thought Adam Priest was very impressive. Also, I thought Ace Austin was very good over there. So I went to see Serena and came out very impressed with Priest and Ace Austin. And Priest in particular is somebody that's done really, really well. Tonight, he came very close to walking out with $50,000 that would have come from money that I've saved from not paying the Young Bucks their salaries, money that comes right out of their bank accounts, which is so sweet for me as somebody that survived the deadliest move in professional wrestling and lived to tell the tale. I'm very fortunate to be sitting here right now, and it's sweet anytime I can click that bank account. And it would have been great if Adam Priest had walked out with $50,000. It would have been great if AR Fox had walked out again with the money. Would have been great if Angelico had won it, but in this case, it was Dralisico. It was a big night for the LFI, walking out with World Tag Team Championship, new champions.
Yeah, what a shot.
Unbelievable pick by Sammy. Nobody expected that, right?
No one.
Nobody saw that coming.
But it was a great pick.
It was a great. I think you were right when you said it, because Caprice, I don't know if anybody's had a chance to catch a replay yet, but Caprice said, he didn't think it was. Can you believe he made that pick? Would you pick? And Ian immediately said yes. Yeah, I would. That would probably be the first guy I would pick if he were. She was a great pick.
I don't know if I get along with him, but he helped me win the tag titles.
Yeah, he's been a great champion in ROH, and Sammy wanted to keep those belts. And the Von Erichs had said either one of them would step up and be great partners for him. And he'd had a great thing going with them in the Sons of Texas. It's sad to see that end, the Sons of Texas officially, I think, tonight. But no, absolutely. Priest is a great competitor. I'm really glad you asked about him. He's competed with the Workhorsemen lately. He's teamed with JD Drake and Anthony Henry. And Anthony had put in a request for the night off tonight, so they were off tonight, but by his own request. Otherwise, you might have seen the Workhorsemen, but Anthony had asked me for the night off, and we'd scheduled a pay-per-view, and I'm very accommodating. So I also have to say that whether it's been recently in trios matches with the Workhorsemen or as a singles, whether it was, like I said, in the independents, when I saw him in Rev Pro, in AEW, or now in ROH, I'm really impressed with Adam Priest. I think he's somebody that really could do some great things here. Another show I really thought he did a great job on, which we showed on ROH, the Dean Show. Mm-hmm. Dean Rasmus, which, again, very fitting, will be coming here for Dean 3. Yes. I really enjoyed working on the Dean 2. For anybody who doesn't know, I when I was young, I posted in college on a message board called the Death Valley Driver, I was on dial-up AOL when I was in like junior high and high school. And then in college, when kind of that ended and dial-up AOL was over and the grandstand was not as much of a thing, I was on the Death Valley Driver, and Dean Rasmussen was somebody who wrote a lot of great things about wrestling. I thought probably the most fitting tribute and the highest praise you could get, certainly here in Ring of Honor in the world of wrestling, may be from Samoa Joe, who's 1/3 of the AEW World Trios Champions. He's a Ring of Honor Hall of Famer and probably certainly in contention to be the greatest champion in the history of this company. And Samoa Joe had really kind words about Dean Rasmussen, saying this is a man who loved pro wrestling and loved writing about it and brought a lot of positivity to pro wrestling, just paraphrasing Joe's great words about Dean, which is a really nice, heartfelt message. The highest praise you can get when Samoa Joe's praising somebody's writing about wrestling and what they brought. So Dean Rasmussen was a really great writer. He was one of the founders of the Death Valley Driver Video Review, and his family and friends, we had worked with them to put together Dean 2, which was a follow-up tribute show to the original Dean tribute show. And because I really liked Dean's writing and had interacted with him a few times, I wanted to be a part of that and have ROH be a part of that. So we're going to have Dean 3 here coming up in just over a week.
Yeah.
It's just a week away.
I can't believe it's right around the corner. I remember when we announced it after Dean 2. Yeah.
There are going to be more great announcements about that card coming out of Death Before Dishonor, because some of the people competing on the card tonight will also be competing on that show. But Priest, I thought, did a fantastic job. Adam Priest, really good young wrestler, and that's a kind of talent, hopefully, that can make a name in ROH and continue building their reputation. Adam Priest has already got a great reputation. I think he can develop it and be a great wrestler in ROH and maybe in AEW too. Thanks for asking. Got at least one more. Hey.
Yes. Hi, Tony. My name is Courtney Rice. I'm from Women's Wrestling Talk. You talked about the Ring of Honor Pure Women's Championship, and you also talked about it yesterday during the media call because you were a little bit unsure on how the bracket was going to go because, as you mentioned, you had to deal with injuries. You also had to deal with Queen Aminata getting an emergency passport. But we actually found out one of the matches today where Queen Aminata beat Taya Valkyrie, and she will be meeting Deonna Purrazzo.
Well, no, she'll be meeting the winner of Trish Adora.
Trish Adora
versus Deonna Purrazzo. Oh. Trish Adora actually had some things to say about Deonna Purrazzo, which you haven't seen yet because it hasn't aired on the live show. But the bracket is Trish Adora versus Deonna Purrazzo. Deonna Purrazzo came out here. Trish Adora was none too pleased about that. She was in the back with the new 6-man champions who were celebrating the win. And when she saw Deonna go out to the ring, she did not appreciate that. So you'll be seeing that on ROH TV soon because for those of us in the backstage, which I know you were out here, when Trish saw Deonna come out here, she was not happy at all about that, and she had some things to say to Deonna about that. To your point,
I can imagine.
So actually, it's Trish Adora will be wrestling Deonna, and the winner of that will be wrestling Queen Aminata, who's moved on to the semifinals.
Okay, and also another question on that because we are going to see a lot of it mostly on Ring of Honor, but is it a chance we could see a crossover to possibly AEW Collision?
Well, potentially, yeah. A lot of the Ring of Honor championships have been defended on AEW and particularly on these Collision shows because we often tape at Collision. ROH is often a big part of the weekend shows. And the roster, sometimes you see the ROH champions compete on Dynamite and Collision. We've had Athena, the Women's World Champion, and Bandito, the World Champion, very involved in AEW recently. And also, when you look at the lineage of some of these championships, especially and particularly since I started working with Ring of Honor, it can be a really good thing a lot of times, some of these young rising champions. And you look, Kyle Fletcher is a great example now, the TNT champion, who was a Ring of Honor television champion. Certainly now not necessarily a young rising name in terms of being somebody that one of the most established, greatest stars, but certainly the longest reigning world television champion in ROH, then has gone on to do some of the best work of his career in AEW, and that's Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe was a world TV champion in ROH, and then has moved on since to become the AEW world champion, the TNT champion, and now world trios champion. So we've seen people sometimes hold championships in ROH, move on to AEW and become a part of that show. But recently we've also seen a lot of the Ring of Honor champions active champions, current champions involved in the show, sometimes defending their championships, sometimes competing for AEW championships. So whoever wins this Pure Championship tournament, I definitely think they could be actively participating, just as we've also seen Lee Moriarty compete often on AEW shows. And Lee Moriarty also just competed recently in the Technical Spectacle and has been a big part of the Collision shows as well. So I would say whoever wins the Ring of Honor Women's Pure Championship, certainly we'll see them competing in ROH as the champion a lot, but could also see them certainly competing on AEW, whether it's Dynamite or, yes, on Collision for sure. That's a great question, and it's been really great having you all here. I think hopefully you all got to ask something. It's been really nice sitting with all of you. I appreciate you all coming out to cover this event. This is a really special place for pro wrestling, and to be able to sit here with all of you and talk about what I thought was a great show tonight. You've done a great job, Ian. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you all coming and covering this event. You know, I have to say, we would not be able to do this without the great pro wrestlers, without our great staff, and without the great fans, but also without the great media and support. I really appreciate you all covering us and giving us an opportunity. It's a huge part of how we're able to get the word out to the fans, having all of you coming and covering the show. Thank you for being here in person, or anybody who called in, people who've been covering the event from home, and all of you here tonight. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being here for the Scrum. Great job tonight, Ian.
Thank you. It was a pleasure, and it's always fun working with Caprice. We're almost a quarter decade into Ring of Honor, and we came home tonight. Came home to Philadelphia. So.
Another great one in the books, my friend. We did it again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you.
Thank you all for coming.